Welcome to Nocti by j.N.S. And today we're going to talk about part 2 of the Black Man series, which is titled, Why Did the Black Woman Create the Black Man? So in part 1, we established the law of gender and who created the black man, which was the black woman with the help of intergalactic beings that will go unnamed. So you want to check out that video, the first video, because you need to have the context before you listen to this one, because this is going to answer, well, why did she create him? The first video talks about who created him, and now this video talks about why was he created. So to best explain why did the black woman create the black man, we will use an analogy called the Digimon concept. And this is from the Japanese series. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of Japanese anime and their, what's it called? Magna, something like that. They put a lot of high science and esoteric information in their cartoons and in their stories. They have very high level concepts that come from the occult that get buried, but the anime stuff is really powerful stuff when you really start to decipher it. I'm not gonna act like I'm a fan of this stuff. I grew up knowing about it, but I didn't watch it. But it was revealed to me by my ancestors about how some of these concepts are aligned with science and basically a lot of occult teachings. So we are only going to use the concept of Digimon, but not like the actual characters. So don't be one-track minded and don't get off track, okay? You know, the ancestors gave me this analogy. When they revealed it to me, I thought it was odd and somewhat hilarious because I don't watch Digimon. I don't have any connection to Digimon. But when I looked it up for myself, it made perfect sense. It made complete sense as to why they revealed that concept to me. And I'm going to reveal it to you. And again, I need you to have your abstract mind intact. I don't need you to be so literal. If you are a Digimon fan, I still need, don't come arguing me down about the actual characters, because I will make you go in that kitchen to get that wooden spoon so I can spank those hands if you get off track, black people. So let's start the explanation of why did the black woman create the black man. And again, I give you this information as a queen mother, so I'm not going to be talking at you. This is a teaching session, and this is also a session of us basking in our glory and understanding where we come from, so we can have knowledge of self, so that we can move to the next step, because this is a series that is going to have a multitude of videos explaining the black man's nature. So we're going to talk about why was he created, but next we're going to talk about what did she encode in him, like what is his encoding that is in his collective DNA and his cell memory consciousness. So this video is the precursor to some really deep stuff that we're going to get into. We're going to talk about civilizations, architecture, mathematics. We're going to talk about all of the encoding that is in the cell memory consciousness that the black woman understands herself and that she encoded into the black man. So let's begin. The plot of Digimon, as many of us know, is about a group of people who become swept up in a digital realm, a sort of simulation, where they obtain talking monsters who aid them in a battle and a threat to both of their worlds. So the actual world where they come from and this simulation obtains threats. So this group of people have these Digimons that are in this simulation that is there to assist them, help them do things in that simulation. So as we know, planet Earth is also a simulation. It is a 3-dimensional frequency of a simulation, which is made out of atoms that seem solid. So as we know, the black woman comes from the spiritual realm. She's in the 3rd-dimensional realm on planet Earth, and she creates this black man with the help of intergalactic beings. And this story can be found in many religions. It's shrouded. A lot of it is taken out, but even if you decide to decipher it on a high level, you get to see like the concepts that I'm talking about. It's found in various religions. So basically, the black woman, she creates the black man with intergalactic beings, or what people would sometimes refer to as the Holy Spirit, or gods, or aliens, or angels, whatever, however you want to look at it. She creates him, and now they're on the 3rd-dimensional realm, where the black man, aka Digimons, but they're not like monsters. They're just, they're on this 3rd-dimensional realm with her, with souls in their body, and they help her and assist her against battles and threats on this 3rd-dimensional realm and in the spiritual realm. So sometimes there may not even be any battles, but they are still together wherever they decide to travel to. Right now, they're in the 3rd-dimensional realm. So let's go back to the Digimon analogy. So in Digimon, as we know, the Digimon hatch from a type of eggs, which are called Digi-eggs. Once they hatch, they start in their fresh form, as we know. So each player starts with a baby level digital creature that has a limited number of attacks and transformations to make the creature stronger. And the trainers have to train these fresh Digimon babies and nourish it. So when the person in the Digi world is successful in the workout, the Digimon becomes stronger. And when the trainer fails, the Digimon becomes weak. So this is the plot in the actual Digimon cartoon or game. So basically, whatever the player does to make themselves strong reflects on that Digimon. Then they will become strong. But if that player is weak, then the Digimon becomes weak. And Digimons age via a process called Digivolution. So that changes their appearance and it increases their power. So as the Digimon gets trained to be stronger by their masters or by their trainers, they get to evolve and have more powers. So as you can see in these pictures, we got the Digimon when it starts out as a baby, and through its training, they evolve into something that is stronger, who has more knowledge and more power. So the Digimons, they evolve to the in-training stage, so the in-training form. Then they can evolve into the rookie. Then they digivolve to the champion, the ultimate, and mega forms. So the Digimon evolutions are not permanent unless they are very strong in power via their trainer or master. So the Digimon has to eventually become powerful as they face off against greater threats, such as the Dark Masters. And in the game, or in the cartoon rather, some of them are known as Puppetmon, Piedmon, and Metal Seedramon. So let's apply that analogy, the same concept that I just gave you, to why the black woman created the black man. So when a black male baby is born, they are at that fresh form. They are a baby level creature, just like how the Digimon is. So to make the baby stronger, their trainer, which is the mommy, the black woman, has to train it and nourish it. If she is strong and has knowledge of self and is powerful and walks to her godhood, then the baby becomes strong, just like in the concept of Digimon. And when she is weak and operates from a space of powerlessness and the wounded feminine, then the baby becomes weak. And as the baby grows, he evolves mentally and spiritually based off of her training. And he should be increasing in power and knowledge of self. So remember, the evolutions are not permanent. So if he is not strong in mind, then by a gust of wind or by any happenstance and circumstance, he can devolve into a lesser form of being and become weak. And the black man has to eventually become more powerful because they're going to have to face off against greater threats and need to protect the black woman and to protect the simulation in which they are involved in which they help create, which is planet Earth. So that is why the black man was created, because we are on this simulation called planet Earth that was given to the original man and woman, and they're going to face threats on that Earth. That's as simple as that. You're going to have other simulations come, you're going to have other creations come, and they're going to sometimes be battle. So the black woman, understanding that, she encodes the black man with certain information. She trains him. She's supposed to be able to train him, and she's supposed to be able to have enough power within herself to be able to give to her creation. So she has created him so that he can invoke various avatars of the black man that she grafted into him. And this depends on how strong she is in her state of consciousness. Because if she is weak and fails to train him, then he will be weak and never be able to reach his potential to build power and knowledge to defend against any threats. So let's look at the analogy characters, and again, pretend this is the black man. So as we can see, we see this fresh little baby, a digi egg that is literally evolving before our eyes into the champion, to the ultimate, to the mega. So we can see that as he is getting his training from his trainer, he gets stronger, he gets more power, he gets more knowledge of self, and he's going to actually be able to be an asset in the digi world. So when you apply that same analogy to planet Earth, this is somewhat what the black man goes through. The same tiny little baby that you see, and actually even somewhat of that body type. They'll get stronger, they'll get muscular, they'll get, but it's not so much it's the physical and the mental that has to match. So this is why the black woman cannot afford to be spiritually enlightened, nor can she externalize her power to other gods, because she is God. Not only that, she cannot externalize her power to that which she creates, and gets into this wounded feminine powerless defeatist mindset, thinking that her son, aka the black man, is going to be able to lead her out of this situation and to lead her into to solely rely on what systems she sees another group use for their people. So she's trying to implement the same system that has never existed in Africa on her plane, because she sees that's what other groups are doing, when that's not the reign and that's not what God encoded into our DNA as black people. So she cannot afford to be unenlightened, because the training that she gives the black boy, aka the Digimon, in the form of structured child rearing teachings and forcing him to attain knowledge of self and wisdom, and how to fight, how to defend himself, how to have integrity, dignity, honor, and courage, that comes from her, and the love of the Queen Mother, the love of her image. She has to consciously teach him that. Nobody else. That comes from her teachings. She's the first teacher on the planet and the first teacher of the human race. She has to teach him that no one comes before her. As a little kid, she has to shift the collective consciousness as a group of women, and she has to take back control of her feminine power, because femininity does not rest. It is always in a creative state. It is always active. It is not passive. Everything that she has been taught has been a lie. She has forgotten who she is, and she has forgotten how to take the reins and to control her son, to control her creation, and to get her creation to do her bidding, and to have her creation act on her behalf. She has completely lost control of how to do that. So now she's involved in a community that does not respect her, that resents her, that's low-key jealous of her, that wants to destroy her and sacrifice her. And now she's acting like she's a victim. She's acting like she doesn't know how to get up from out of that situation. With the complaining, the constant forums, these long-ass forums, and all these videos of her complaining about or begging her son to lead her when she created him, when she can damn well lead herself, and she could damn well lead this whole community, the whole world for that matter. So she's became so weak, and she's not teaching her son the light codes and the information that he needs to know to be able to actually assist and help her, and for them to even want to assist and help her. Because now it's to the point where the feminine energy is so weak, she don't want to help herself. So guess what? She instills that into her son, and they don't want to help her. They're willing to abandon her, willing to do anything to sacrifice her, when she doesn't realize that she is the key to the kingdom, and that whatever she say go. But it starts as a kid, because once they get a certain age, they can't be retrained, right? You can't teach a grown man how to be a man and all this stuff. So she got to do it as soon as they come out that womb. Literally within 1 hour out of that womb, the training begins of him being an honorable man, to have integrity, that will honor the Queen Mother, do anything for her image, protect her image, love her image. It starts 1 hour out of the womb. Not knowing how to train these men and check these men has been our downfall as a people, because he is not above his creator, and he knows that on a subconscious level. The black man knows that. He's very much aware of that. That's why he has so much resentment for why his mom is acting the way she acts and being weak, because he expects her to know herself, because now he don't know himself, because his mom don't know herself. So it is important that she be strong, so that she can give the proper training consciously, so that in this third dimensional realm, which is planet Earth, she can actually utilize and harness his power, so that they can create more energy, generate energy, and protect this planet Earth, and protect against spiritual attacks, which is what we always have been getting for the last 1,000 years. So that is why it's such a spiritual crime for the black man to overthrow the Queen Mothership, which is what I've been talking about. So y'all want to go and check out the Queen Mothership series, part 1 through part 6, if y'all don't know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. Because there was no balance. So when he overthrew the Queen Mothership, he no longer allowed her to train him. And we literally ended up enslaved and fucking colonized for the last 1,000 years. And he's not that he has forgotten, but he resents that she created him. And now everybody, both women and men, are copying the Western way of demanding that the black woman submits to him, to something that she gives birth to. Like the black man is saying, she needs to submit. She needs to submit. And the black woman is in her mind thinking, he's going to lead me and I'm going to submit. When y'all haven't realized that for 1,000 years, where had that actually worked out? And you can't even point to me in Africa. Some places were patrilineal, but it was still a diarchy. Whether it's matrilineal or patrilineal, it was still a diarchy. If you don't know what a diarchy is, go look it up, because I don't have time to be explaining stupid, simple ass concepts to you. So it was a diarchy, and it was based off of balance between a feminine and a masculine energy. So there was no, oh, she gonna submit and da 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 da, whether it was patrilineal or matrilineal, because that is not the encoding and the essence of black men and black women. So this lack of training from his creator has made him weak. And for her to willingly worship that which he creates and have these concepts of he's going to lead and I'm going to submit, going along with it because of what you saw other creatures in our simulation create. That's their system. And that's what they have used against us. But you don't use what works for you or what has worked for you. It was actually overthrown, and then that's how we got in this situation. It wasn't like you were using your essence and your dynamic, and then it got messed up. It was your dynamic was overthrown by black men, and we got messed up. And that's just how the history goes. We deny it. We ashamed of it. We want to just blame other people or whatever for our situation, and act like we're not powerful people, and play these games with the universe and with these gods, and think that divine judgment is not on its way for our culture and for our behavior today, regardless if we are the victims of some serious oppression of what other groups have done to us. We still have a lot more agency than what we want to give ourselves credit to, and apparently we are blind to that agency, because every time I try to tell y'all who y'all were and things y'all are capable of, y'all act like y'all just victims and don't believe y'all power. And a lot of it is in low self-esteem. I get it. I get the pain that y'all are going through, but the universe literally does not care about any more of these excuses, because she sees the heart and the soul. So the universe wants us to put up or shut up at this point. So the lack of the black woman taking control and establishing the culture and being weak for the black man has made us both weak. That's just a fact. And that's why one of the reasons, not the reason, but one of the reasons why we have been on the bottom for 1,000 years. Because she is not operating from the active feminine essence, especially dark feminine essence, is what she would need to get herself up out of this situation. So until we bring back the Queen Mothership, as stated by the African gods and ancestors and the great dark goddess herself, we're going to have some problems. What does it say in the good books, or in many of the religions that you probably are more familiar with? It says, seek ye the true kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. So, what does that mean? You have to seek things of the mind and the heart. You have to seek things that are within the spirit, not outside, especially not in this third dimensional realm, which is a simulation anyways. It's a digi world somewhat. Damn near a digi world. So the black woman will need to enact great dark energy against this black community to bring it under the correct natural balance and the state that it will need to be in. And if she is unable to get the men to honor the dark goddess and to honor her image and to do her bidding, then she has the permission to leave, and all who will not evolve will not make it to the next level, because it's a part of natural selection. So this is why the black man was created, to help protect her against any attacks in the third dimensional realm and in the spiritual realm, and to help her generate more energy, to help her build, so that they can be as one. He is just another aspect of herself, which he is very much aware of. So let me ask you some questions and you answer this. Now that you know why he was created, has he been properly protecting her? No. Has he been properly trained by the black trainer goddess woman, his mommy? No. So now the ancestors are on y'all head, and if y'all both don't get y'all act together, you're gonna face grave discomfort in the years to come, especially under the age of divine judgment, the age of information, the age of the dark feminine energy, and the age of truth and logic. We are not in the emotional age anymore. We are not in the age of dogmatism, and we're not in the age of patriarchy anymore. Well, some say it was supposed to come in 2021. Some said 2020. It don't matter. We're literally moving out of that age. So do you want to face this discomfort, or you want to get back in balance with the self, with the divine masculine and divine feminine? So you are the same people that built the pyramids, that built the Noak iron smelted heads, that built all of the Ascamite structures and all types of structures. And we're going to do the next video. So next video is going to be about civilization, and the next one after that is going to be about the architecture. You want to pay attention to that, because when I say that I've been studying your asses, and I got architecture from all four corners of Africa, north, west, south, central America, whatever, all of it. Y'all asses know how to build stuff, and your asses know how to do plenty of things. So the universe is saying, no more excuses. No more excuses for self-hatred. No more excuses for being a hating ass jealous nigga. No more excuses for not building. No more. When I say we're in 2020 in the age of divine judgment, the universe do not give a damn about none of your excuses. You're not going to be sitting up there saying, well, the white man did and we supposed to be doing this. Nobody cares. You're going to put up or you're going to shut up. And you know how to do all these things. You know how to build so many pyramids, so many architecture, so many civilizations. I'm going to prove it to you in the next videos to come. You're going to see everything that you ever done for the last 30,000 years. Everything that has ever existed in Africa is going to be shown in these videos for the last 30,000 years. Before contact with Europeans and Arabs and anybody. So your ass know science, mathematics, everything, because I'm going to prove it to you. How you knew. And not just Egypt. I'm going to prove it to you how you knew it in West Africa, South Africa, all of Africa. So I don't want to hear no more y'all bullshit about how all this powerlessness that y'all act like y'all so powerless. And I can't take it anymore. Because it's not true. And I know it's the low self-esteem. I know it's something that is in the mind. They say that mental slavery is worse than physical slavery, because if you mentally enslaved, you don't even know you enslaved. So y'all gonna have to work past that mental slavery in this divine age, and the universe is gonna make sure you get past it. You better start heeding these words. And the self-hate and the lack of knowledge of self was causing this weakness in the black community. So once the black woman gets knowledge of self, that's why I told the black woman to get the book that I wrote about the Nocti Queen Mothership, black men and black women. Get that book, because I'm telling the black woman she got to put herself first. She got to have knowledge of self. She got to know who she is. And once she knows that she's God and that she has the light codes and has the information, she is the being that will relay that to her children and give them the wisdom and the light codes. It's going to come from her. And it is time for the soul evolution. And I'm going to give you more information on how to train the black boy, the black child. Remember, it's like the Digimon concept. As soon as he comes out the womb, he receives his training. And we're going to work on child rearing, because I will even make a class for y'all if y'all just that lost, because y'all don't know how to raise these boys. And instead of being a woman and admitting that shit, y'all keep on perpetuating madness and having these kids out of wedlock with no father in sight, and not emphasizing a stable family unit and a nuclear family structure. Y'all keep on thinking that this is cute to say that y'all don't need no father in the house and all this stupid shit, and not having knowledge of self, and not realizing how y'all perpetuating madness and making our community weak. And it's not just obviously a woman doing this. She's having it's this cycle. There's a lot of interference in our pedagogy. There is a lot of spiritual warfare. There is a lot of just general low self-esteem and all types of issues that we're having. But the time is now to correct all of our behavior. Because as soon as he comes out that womb, the training begins. The breast milk is giving. The introduction to the father. The baby gets to meet the father. The baby gets breast milk. He gets fed. He takes a nap. As soon as he gets his ass up, training on the Queen Mothership, training on knowledge itself, knowledge, science, math, all of that. As soon as he come out the womb. So this information is important because we must assemble the men together to do our bidding as our creation, as the black woman. And he must be reset. And we must separate the real from the fake and recognize who is the true black man and who is an imposter in black skin, but they got a mind that is not African. They got a mind that is not conducive to the original man. We got to separate the imposters. We got to know, and we have to eliminate. Okay, I won't say eliminate because that's strong language, but we got to get rid of them and come out from amongst them. So now that you understand why the black woman created the black man, take heed to this lesson. The next video is going to be, well, what did she encode in him? What did she encode in his DNA if she created him? You know, so we're going to talk about the types of black men that are created, which is the Nigeria Congo, the Nilo of Saharan, and the Asiatic African black man. But what things do they know? They know civilization, mathematics, spirituality. But we're going to not only just break down civilization, we're going to break down every civilization in Africa that ever existed within the last 30,000 years. And don't just think, oh, Egypt, because that's not the case. You've been lied to, you've been bamboozled. You don't know shit what was going on before this colonialization shit happened, for the most part. We're going to talk about all of the empires, even the unknown ones, even the ones that's not, as popular. We're going to talk about it all. So she encoded in him the ability to know civilization. And I'm going to prove to you how he knows civilization. Just like I'm going to prove to you how he knows mathematics and architecture, engineering, all types of stuff. I'm going to show you everything, basically anything that ever existed in Africa for the last 30,000 years. Your ass about to know it. So get prepared and understand what this is all about, okay? So stop acting like your ass don't know nothing. The reason why I'm so hard on y'all is because I know y'all not living up to y'all potential, and I know what's in y'all DNA, and I know what you're made of. I know where you come from. I know your ancestors. I know our history, and I know our gods and the universe. And having knowledge itself is the most powerful thing, but it's also painful because when you have knowledge itself and you see your whole community don't know shit and don't honor theyself, and they don't have that same outlook on theyself or same high opinion of theyself as you do, that shit is painful daily. And since I know that y'all are lacking in the self-love department, I can only do so much. I cannot save you. I can only teach you. But then again, I can't just give you my energy and not get nothing back, because that's not how the universe works either. So you have to show me some effort. You have to show the Queen Mother, Kali j.N.S, some effort into your knowledge. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later, and be prepared to hear part 3, which is what did she encode in him? Civilization. So be prepared, because that one's gonna be one. Y'all think this little Digimon shit, this one is lighthearted. I'm telling you, this one, the next one, y'all gonna have to prepare to be in learning mode. Y'all gonna get a pen and a paper, and y'all gonna be writing out some of these kingdoms that I named, their dates that they started, okay? And you're gonna want to show your kids this one, because this one is extensive amount of kingdoms for the most part. I hope I don't miss any. I'm sure I'll miss a couple, but I tried to get as much as I can, and I try to find, this research be hurting my brain. Sometimes you study so much stuff, your brain be hurting. And so after I got done studying African civilization in Africa, okay, do you know that Africa existed, humans existed in Africa, black humans, for 3.8 million years? Do you know how mind-boggling it is to try to get all that information and try to find all that information, because I know that we were being lied to. Your ass think that you lived in a hut for all thousands of years, and then a European came up and civilized you and gave you a Bible or some shit, and took you on a boat to the other worlds. That's what a lot of y'all think. Some of y'all might know a little bit, but you still don't know the full extent of everything that we was doing before we came into contact with this European. And once you start really realizing that y'all pretty much was running shit in your own country, then y'all got yourself in a fucked up situation because of greed and materialism and lack of knowledge itself. That these are painful things to have to live with, to have knowledge itself. And if I gotta get through it and do the alchemical work to ascend my consciousness and actually do it and be willing to do it, I know you can too, because the truth will set you free. Because that's all we learning is the truth. And the truth is that the black woman did create the black man, and that she did encode him with certain information, and that she did create him for certain reasons with the help of these intergalactic beings. That is her creation, because she gave birth to him. Just like the other men are the creations of their women, and they got a reason why they created them. But I'm not going to be following their stories. I'm talking about our story. So stay tuned for the next series in the Black Man series. This is a big one, and I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye.